Hi, everybody. We're welcome to Next Innovations Cottage Blanks. Joined today with Erica Gifford. We're trying out a new platform, so we're going to probably give people a few minutes to join us on Facebook, and I believe we are also going live right to YouTube. So today, I'll give you a few minutes as I'm getting organized here to let a few people join us.
So Arnold, what's the weather like up there?
I wish I could flip the camera around. I think we're getting like an inch an hour, so it's snowing like crazy. It's it's really it's been beautiful and snow's been disappearing. So now um, you weren't kidding when you said live. Now we're gonna go live with weather.
With the weather.
Yeah, with the weather.
Yeah.
Um,
I shouldn't even tell you. Here it's like 55, 60 degrees.
yeah, we had 60 the other day. We went motorcycling. My son and I did on Saturday.
Nice.
Yep. Well, let's. I guess we did start just a smidgen early.
At 3. Okay. I'm just checking it over here to
Yeah,
see if he is like live on the Facebook.
how about on YouTube?
Ah, we're here. We're live
Yeah, check YouTube.
with all my computers. Okay.
Well, we got a few people on, so maybe we'll get started. Welcome, everybody. Arnold Volker here at Next Innovations Cottage Blanks, joined by Erica. Where are you located, Erica?
I'm in Asheville, North Carolina.
She is in the
You.
balmy, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
snowing here, so we have a good contrast going. Um, I'm going to start out with something new that it's always fun if I can be excited. It's easier to present things that are fresh and new. This just came off the paint line this morning. It's one of our state shapes. So whatever state you're in, we're doing state shape wind spinners. So it's something new that we're just starting. This one happens to be a 16 inch. The minimum order for your particular state is 12 wind spinners. Online, if you did want to call in, we will do 6. So, but that's beautiful kind of representation of your state. Uh, and then we're going to jump right into kind of spring. We're going to do some butterfly. This is a new item for us. It's a good test to see how it fits the press. It's a 16-inch art, framed art, I guess is what we're calling it in the catalog. And we're going to press this. The first thing, kind of just going through the basics, is you're going to start off with a half-inch Nomax pad. Ours has kind of been flattened out over the period of time that we use it, so it seems like it's quarter-inch, but it started out as half-inch. Then you have craft paper, a layer of that, and what we do is we press with the part on top. In this case, we have a grind pattern. So the grind pattern, you're going to put the print down and then the part. We're going to line that up. In this case, we're right about the size of the press. So I'm always excited to kind of test things to see. We have a larger pneumatic press in back. This is a manual press. And one thing you do not want to forget is what I just about forgot, and that's to put another layer of craft paper on the top. Otherwise, your part would stick to the top of that heat plenum. We're at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 380 degrees, and we're going to get that started. We're going to press another one of those also, just a different type of pattern so you can see the different types of art. Um,
And the finish on the butterflies is the grind, so it really catches the light. Yeah.
yeah,
And those are hand ground by Willie in the back. He grinds each piece in a
yeah.
custom way. And it
Willie
has
has
such
been
beautiful
here 16
function.
years, and he absolutely loves to grind. I can't describe it. I think it's borderline a sickness. Um, here's one of our smaller state shapes. You know, this is a 8 inch. So we do have many different sizes. We have this wonderful display wind spinner stand. So if you are doing wind spinners or buying from us, um, it's a great feature. I believe if you spend $300, you get the stand for free. And it comes with the motor. Otherwise, they're $25. But it's a great way to display your finished product. It does come, ships flat, comes with a really nice instructions. It's just a very simple type thing for us to ship, you know, and assemble. The other nice thing, we are the manufacturer, so it's not like we're showing you somebody else's products. These are products that we, right in our factory, right behind that wall, we're actually painting today. So they're laser cut here, they're powder coated here, like Erica pointed out, they're hand ground here. And so along with your order, you'll get some tips and tricks, and that'll be right in there. It talks about the difference between settings between a manual press and a pneumatic press. Troubleshooting if you have things like paper stick or something that isn't working right. Typically, it's related to pressure. You might not have that Nomax pad. So we're a smaller company, but we love to help our customers try to figure out and troubleshoot what those problems are. We do have designs that are out there for you to download, and there are some free ones. I'm new to StreamYard, so I'm just catching up there. Looks like Hillary posted, welcome Hillary. Yes, they are sublimatable, and that's the process that we're doing right here. So we do print on a special paper. So this is a wind spinner, kind of I think some of Erica's favorites I try to pull out, but here's a garden party one, and it's printed on special paper. And then that ink, believe it or not, turns to a gas and settles into the powder coating. So it's kind of a cool process. But yeah, definitely if you have questions, post them in there, and either Erica or myself will try to watch for those. And of course, Erica, I forgot my gloves.
Arnold, you need your
I went
fishing
fish.
gloves.
I went fishing with them once, and then I forget to put them in here. So normally we have a hook, and see if I can spin this around. Turned out very, very vibrant.
Oh, I love that blue in the center. So
Yeah,
pretty.
and I'll let that cool for a minute, and then I'll press the next one. But one thing is kind of our report card. I kind of always say is look at the paper. So if you have residue or ink still left on the paper where they should have transferred to the part, that typically means you don't have enough pressure or enough time. And since we're doing those and kind of featuring that right now, um, I'm going to throw this other one on just so you can kind of see the difference in color. And I didn't look at that real close, but this is basically a 16-inch part going on a 16-inch press. So there's a little bit of forgiveness because of the amount of heat that these are under. But I'm going to get that started, and then we'll look at that a little bit closer. I'll turn this around. But yeah, you can see that it pressed all the way around the part, all the way to the edges. And you can kind of, camera doesn't always do it justice, but I love the vibrancy of dye sublimation.
And the
On this,
design behind it too is so pretty.
yeah. And the difference between kind of this framed art, which is kind of nice, is as you can see, there's some tabs that are cut out here. Those actually just bend back and they're shipped flat to you, obviously, and then you press them flat, and then you'd bend that, and this is the hook that it would hang on. So it's a little bit different than some of our others.
And then the other tab, does it hold it kind of like away from the wall? So when
Yep,
it's hung, it's
yep,
almost like 3D.
yep, 3D in a sense. So this would bend. I'll bend it now. It's cooled off just a smidgen. You kind of bend it back, so then the whole part is, as Erica said, kind of 3D away from the wall, and it kind of balances how it hangs. So as you can see, that tab is sticking out. And it gives us some depth and some shadowing when you hang it on the wall. So that's kind of fun. For those of you that maybe missed this, and in an honor of our state shape, I should have done Erica's state also, but it's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
what about North Carolina?
I was going to do Wisconsin.
Well, and that's my other state.
Yeah. But
But
yeah, so it's kind of just cool that you can see the flash of the wind spinner. But this is a 16-inch.
and that is like the actual blank has a white center, and then the outside is the clear metal.
Yeah,
So
I thought I had one in here, but I do not.
so you get that really sharp imagery in the center, and then the reflection in the loops.
The next thing hey Connie, uh, the next thing we're gonna press here is this wind spinner that I was just showing you, and just to talk just a little bit about, yeah, Kansas would be a fun state shape to do. Is the paper. We have larger printers here, so we can print this all in one. But if you have an 8.5 by 11 printer, you might have to do these in two separate pieces and then just tape them together with heat tape on this seam.
Because you press both sides at the same time, right?
Yeah, because we press both sides at the same time. And this would be a common mistake that a person might make. Make sure that your part fits the art. So I have an 8-inch print and a 10-inch wind spinner. So I will have to see if I have in this pile some 8-inch. Otherwise,
So Connie says, "Yay, Wisconsin!" Connie, are you in Wisconsin? I'm from a little town called Menominee.
no, 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 no.
Menominee.
Kind of again, show these together once they cool off a little bit. But first thing you want to do is try to get your part off as soon as possible. One thing that does for sure cause paper sticking if you leave it on there too long. You want to slightly just sticking action as you pull it off. A little bit different center. But again, 16-inch part, 16-inch press, it all pressed just fine. I'm going to get that next piece here going. Maybe press a couple things. We're going to lay the wind spinner print down. I did find a 10-inch print. It's a little bit different. And fold that over. And maybe press another thing here at the same time. If you have room in your press, paper can overlap paper, but you really shouldn't overlap metal. I mean, that'll cause some difficulties. So you want to just make sure your metal isn't overlapping. You want to make sure that you have your craft paper down, and we'll start this up again. 380, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. This is fairly warm. The thing that I like about this is just the how you can do pretty forgiving designs. So these are just very vibrant. You could have just a splash of one main color, but here we're accenting the butterflies a little bit different.
They're so
Erica,
pretty.
this was kind of a test to us, and maybe I'm going off the road again. Do we have these as a cottage blank?
Well, Corey was on vacation. We're just glad he came back because he loves to go diving.
Yeah, so it's possible they might not be
Honduras
on there, but I think if they're not, Erica, we should circle back and then I guess get some feedback from Hillary and Connie. What do you think of these as a blank? They possibly may not be in there.
Let's take a look.
Hey Don, you want to pop in and be a guest on our show? We have a new system that we're trying out. It's called StreamYard. So Erica gets her own little box.
I get a box. Hi.
Look at you.
Yeah. We finally got Erica in a box. And then the comments and all over there, and it's posting live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time.
Spin in the spring.
Yeah, spin in the spring.
What's with the duck head
That's called StreamYard. That's their logo. Did you see this, Don? What do you think of this one? Brand new press today.
I think it looks like one of my designs.
You're so modest. Any words of wisdom?
Yeah, we've been doing a few of those for a couple of orders that come in for custom steak shapes for inside a kaleidoscope. I guess we call it kaleidoscope because it's a shape that's inside it. We've got a couple of orders for those, so
far you did
Georgia,
and,
Minnesota, and I think there was Alabama.
Alabama, yeah.
So we've had a couple of those trickling in.
I think right now on the paint line we have some Michigan ornaments.
Thanks, Connie.
Michigan state shape. And
we've had those for quite some time.
Yeah, but it's an order came through.
I don't know if we've done ornaments for them before, so that's new.
That's new, yeah.
I want to see a North Carolina one. I'm excited.
Isn't that kind of a square? What is that shape?
It's more of a rectangle. And yeah, because part of it is along the coast, but I'm over in the mountains, like on the other side.
So do we put a star where you are then?
Yeah, a little heart, right?
Yeah. But yeah, we could, so that's something that we've been working on. So if anybody's interested in trying the shape.
They're so pretty and vibrant. Don, you did a great job with that design too. It looks beautiful.
Wish I had gloves, Don. I always misplace my gloves.
Maybe you need sublimation gloves and fishing gloves separately.
Oh boy. We'll get some paper sticking. Well, this is a good problem to have.
Look at that. That's sticking really good. Now that tells me right away that wasn't cured right or something.
So here's one that's a paper stick. So let me get a hook behind Don. And so if this does happen, just let it cool, get the paper off the best you can, and it will come off with Windex. So we'll take a look at that. We'll keep pressing but it does happen. Doesn't happen very often. I think in all the ones that I've recorded online like this is the first time that's happened.
Yeah, like you pressed the other one right with that one, enough down, which is fine.
Yeah.
Well, and Windex is like my big fat Greek wedding. That's the solution for everything.
What's that?
Put Windex on it.
Put Windex on it?
You got a pimple? Put Windex on
it. Nice transition.
Thank you.
But yeah, It does happen. Sometimes it's humidity. Sometimes it has to do with the part. But normally we'll just let this cool, and this paper will come right off with water or Windex. But if you are having many problems like that, Don, what is this temperature supposed to be at? Because I think we shortened it the other day.
Well, it's been, the temperature has been the same. We've been able to
We shortened the time.
we shortened the time. So
Yeah,
it
you.
doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah,
need all that extra time, and some people were having some trouble. And
right.
it's all about experimenting and seeing what works best because every press and every printer is different. So.
Yeah. So we'll. I guess. Would you mind getting me some Windex?
Sure. I can
Okay.
do it.
All right. Thank you. So sometimes it's. We don't want you to think that problems never happen to us. Problems can happen. And I'm glad sometimes if they do happen here, so we have a real life example. So Don's gonna go get us some Windex. Here's the other one that I pressed was the actual two-sided scallop shape, which these are on.
They are on there, and I think they're a really great price too. And it's nice because you can hang them like between wind spinners, or they can, go on their own. They could go at the bottom of one. They
Yep.
can be used as ornaments.
Could be used as Wayfair, Wayflow signage. You know, clean
What's
your
that?
room, your room's clean. I mean, you could use it for lots of different things. Probably press a few more wind spinners. I do have some new fun stakes. We have a couple different sizes. We have what I would call kind of a small garden stake that could be for marking your vegetables or flowers or Wayflow.
What is Wayflow?
Wayflow?
Yeah, what is that?
We make a lot of Wayflow signs here. We just shipped some signs to Valdez, Alaska. So it's for directing traffic. So it might be like arrows or like if you go to a stadium, like if you ever quoted a stadium signage, they'd all be under Wayflow.
Wayflow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, I like them for like herbs. I want some for my rosemary and thyme and all of those in the garden.
yeah, so we're gonna press one of those. I don't know if I have smaller prints, but I do have an example of a couple that like here's peppers, and then on the back, and these are you can buy them as a pack.
Yeah, that's really cute.
These are you can write on there with a grease pencil.
I like that you have the measurement on there too, so you can see how much they're growing. That's cute.
And so normally you should be able to just flip that wind spinner right over. Ink will come off the paper. This is one of my favorites. It's a sun and moon. I'm going to hang that just for a second as I throw another one on the press. Get that going. Start that one. And so yeah, Don went and grabbed me some Windex. Seems like I'm having issues spraying, Don. Basically, you just want to soak the paper.
And then you just let it sit for a minute?
Just let it sit for just a second. I have this urge to squirt Dawn, and I'm really, I'm
No, Arnold.
fighting that urge. Doesn't do any good to squirt Erica. That would be kind of silly.
I have a shield in my box.
Yeah, she's shielded in her box. So, and this is live, so we're not, but yeah, it'll just come right off. Just want to make sure it's wet, and I'll be the first to admit that it is a pain. So if it is happening a fair amount, definitely call us. But you can see it does not affect the vibrancy at all. And like in the back, we're pressing hundreds of parts a day. Lots of times, maybe 40 to 50 or more in one press on our larger Geonite kind of shuttle table press. And, Don has started back there, but now he's up front with his wisdom and charm. We've put him in more customer service. So Don didn't have that much problem with sticking. Or if you do, usually it's caused by something. Right, Don?
Yeah, it's just figured out what works best for.
Yeah. And that one, I let it soak a little longer, and it almost all came off at once. So, but yeah, soak it. This is probably the first time, Erica, you've seen me take this off.
I have never seen this before. I'm like just fascinated, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I thought it would be harder.
No.
In my mind.
It literally just falls. It almost, if you get it wet enough, it literally just all pulls right off in one. Don brought me a nice little rag to kind of wipe it, but I thought maybe the print was backwards, but yeah. So
that's cute.
Shouldn't happen very often. If you're having it a fair amount, it means that there's some kind of pressure or time issue. But I'm glad that it kind of happened, so we can kind of walk through what to do with it.
Okay, so
let's see.
we've got a couple questions coming in here, Arnold.
Okay.
Hillary is asking if we have the templates for a print design, and we do. With every purchase, you get the templates. And we even have some designs available for, I think we have one that's available for free download, and we do have some others that are available for purchase. It's like a set of 4. We have a couple of those. And Brent, thank you, Brent. You have the wind spinners too. They look so good. Hillary's also asking if there happens to be a discount code for first-time buyers. And if you go to our website, Hillary, you sign up on the email list and you will get a discount code right in your email box. Yeah.
The other thing too that we maybe don't mention a lot is we do have a YouTube channel, which hopefully this is posting live to right now.
It
and
is.
Cool. There's lots of historical videos on there, how to bend a wind spinner, which I will show you here in a second, and one that's not hot. Here's that first sun and moon that I pressed, and basically you put your thumb, obviously put the holes horizontal, and put your thumb and just bend them out, probably about a 60-degree bend, and
then you get that motion.
A lot of people ask, do I need a motor if it's outdoors? Preferably hang it somewhere in a windy location. You do not need a motor, and our motors are not made for outdoors. They're only made for indoors, kind of more for displays. You can bend it back flat and ship it. I mean, it's very forgiving. You can bend it back and forth. We have lots of different, here's a very cool new design that
oh, that's pretty.
Feedback. That's a white center. So we do have some white and clear.
And on our website, we call those two-tone.
Two-tone. Thank you.
It's got the white in the center and the metal on the edge.
Erica, did you say that you wanted some herbs?
Yes.
Well, look at what I just found.
That's what I'm really good at growing. Beans and basil.
Yeah. I knew that beans wasn't an herb.
Yeah, that's what I'm really good at growing.
We have lots and lots of different styles of wind spinners and sizes. I think we have 8 different sizes of wind spinners, not including, this is more like an artist. What do you call this one, Erica? Picture framed art?
We called it the frame spinner.
Yeah. Bends the same, so this would bend out. This one's horizontal, and then the other one is vertical. But it's really nice to put a family photo or something in the center. And again, what I love about dye sublimation is you just you get that really vibrant, almost glass-like look where it's got some depth to it.
That's so pretty. So Barb was saying it wasn't on YouTube. I just sent a link though, so I put it in the chat.
It's not posting to YouTube?
It is.
Oh.
It is. So maybe it's just making sure we got her pointed in the right direction. There we go. And Cheryl Kuchek is posting in the group. Hi, Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
And she's going to be having another Sublimation Summit coming up in May, the virtual one, and then a live and in-person one, God bless, in September.
Yeah, I need to go on a motorcycle trip.
You do. What is where are you going to go that's close to here? What is it called again?
Dragon's Tail.
The Dragon's Tail. A friend of mine was just talking about that the other day.
Again, this is the markers, but same thing. The report card is your paper. So look at your paper. Make sure that everything is coming off as far as ink. I'm going to yank this off. Put on a bigger 16-inch wind spinner on our 16-inch press, which is kind of fun. So similar to the wall art, you want to line it up. I'll see too if I can talk about registration marks here once I get this kind of on here. And when it's the same size as the press, just make sure that you have it all the way on. And there's a little bit of forgiveness because of the heat. Put your craft paper back down.
Okay, Barb Kelly, thank you for telling us that. She says that it's still waiting for next innovations in YouTube. So we're going to see if it has to kind of spool it and then save it or how it works. But we appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, that is good feedback. This is our first time doing it with 2 things at once. Here's the other one that we just pressed, the hummingbird.
That is so pretty.
Let's see. In this design, it's upside down, obviously, but it's fairly hot yet. This design is on our downloads. I believe it's for free, Erica.
Yeah, and then you can add things to it. Arnold, you need your gloves.
I know. The reason I never have gloves here is in the back, we never use gloves. Everything is more of a setup for production, so it's more set up for speed.
Yeah.
And when it comes to gloves, it
so that like we've done this one as a memorial plaque, but I could also see this, being. Sometimes I go to the Arboretum here and they have little placards for the trees. And so you could do it for a pet. You could do it for that sort of thing. You could have it say the Smiths. There's a lot of applications.
And it's got a relief cut right here in the middle. So it's really easy, like to Erica's point, that you can bend this. So then when you're looking at it, for naming flowers or gardens, it'll be bent so the person can see it easier. Designs, I think we're always trying to put more and more designs out there for you guys to download. Here's what I was going to go back to is the actual on our templates. They're not always consistent, but usually we have some kind of a bullseye or a plus. Almost looks like it, in this example, looks like a screw head. And you're going to fold your two parts together on a two-sided item, and you're going to match those two up. We have a light table in back, but you could use a window. You could hold it up. But it's meant to, so you align the two parts. They're called alignment marks. So you align the two parts the same.
And that makes it easy.
We have a lot of functional art. Since I have a moment here, we have some wonderful garden tool hangers. Like, for example, there's one in the back here that's hanging a garden tool, but you could do lots of different things. It's a 3-hook accessory rack, but it could be for garden tools just because we're talking about spring, but you could hang belts or lots of different things on. Comes with a bending tool. And we just actually manually bend these when the part is still hot. But functional art is really in. It's really cool.
And we have two sizes of those racks. One has like smaller things for like keys, or you could put various garden tools on it too.
And normally,
Perfect.
again, that should peel right off. It should be a little bit of a stick, or there can be a little bit of a stick, but no ink left on that. I'm going to let that hang just for a smidgen because my ADD kicked in and I got excited about that wind spinner, and I didn't press the markers that I was yakking about. So here are some markers I'm going to throw on here. And again, that's a two-sided part. It does have the alignment marks on there. Just because I like trying to fill up the press. And in the honor of spring, we're going to throw a dolphin wind spinner on here. So again, a very forgiving, if you have lots of color, just swaths of color, would be an easy one to do the graphic on. And make sure that the dolphin is facing the same way as the art. So I guess slow down Arnold is what I was trying to say politely. Sometimes I get in a hurry.
Well, Sherry Robertson says, "Great job, Arnold."
Yeah, I'm cracking under the pressure. Now that Erica's on here with me, it's a whole new level of I got to perform. So here's what the camera doesn't do it a lot of justice, but if the camera angle is right and I don't have the glare, you would swear that was a real butterfly. So that's just how vibrant that it looks. So unless you have a printer issue, this is a 16-inch part on a 16-inch press. Depending on the size of your printer.
Hey, Arnold, hold it back up for a second. So what you guys have done with this one too is that you have two different butterfly images on each side. So as it spins, it looks like the butterfly is like literally flapping its wings.
Yeah.
Which is another great creative.
And
create motion.
I have a hook in here. It's one thing that we can talk about. So the wind spinners, that's actually our number one thing that we sell on cottage blanks, and that's what makes us unique. That's how we started as a company. And so I'm going to take a wind swivel off. You will get a package of swivels with your wind spinners. They do not come on for obvious reasons. You don't want to press them on the wind spinner because that would screw up your art. But you will get wind spinners swivels with it. So you're going to get this is for the bigger ones, but you're going to get a smaller version if you get the smaller wind spinners. And basically that just goes through this hole on the top. This one's still a little warm, but and then we're going to clip that shat. The other one's just kind of clipped through with a clip. And then we're going to bend this like we just did earlier. We're going to fan that out. And kind of to Erica's point.
Yeah, because it literally looks like the butterfly is flapping its wings. So pretty.
Yeah. So it's kind of the poor man's comic book.
What? I think it's soothing to watch.
But yeah, you could do that with lots of different things. I mean, obviously the graphic has to work. Possibly throwing a ball, or we've done it with like birds, different things like that. This was one that was a little warm earlier to show, but again, just the vibrancy.
And the detail.
And the detail. So that's a two-sided part.
Well,
Again, lots of people are using these for bag tags, but ornaments, bag tags, product markers, promotion. We have a bike race that's coming up, Spring Fling, and we as a company donated. So they're going to use them as medallions or key rings for everybody that finishes the bike ride. And I'm going to flip them, the two-sided ones, flip them over right away if possible. Here's the dolphin that we just pressed.
oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. Hey, Sherry. Thanks for joining us, Deb. I recognize a few names always. Erica, remind me to bring my gloves next time.
I will remind you.
Here's basil for Erica's garden. And here's some notes in the back. So these, I think it's 10 for $10. So, I mean, they're not really expensive as far as the design. We do have designs out there.
That's great, because I always forget how, like, when I planted and when it should be, you just kind of get rid of the seed packets or don't take the time to look. That's great.
Yeah. And that's just, like you pointed out, that's just one use. But there's basically a large and a small marker. But, I mean, there's lots of different things that you could do with these. Could be graduation parties, garage sale, the mood a person's in, having a good day or a bad day. I should probably have one of those here.
Even your address, like for the mailman, because sometimes
temporary address.
Yeah. Or stay off the lawn. Something about keep your dog off my grass.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. Wet grass or freshly planted grass. Stay off my grass. I like that one. We do have these dragonflies and butterflies, and that's kind of going to be the last thing I kind of press today, unless anybody's got any questions. These are some 6-inch, so we kind of focused on some larger spinners, but I have a smaller one here that I'll throw on the press and then I'll show you. And again, I like printing and pressing multiple things at once if we can. Try to get it lined up the best you can. And
So Arnold, what's your favorite thing to press? You've been doing this a long time.
my favorite thing is probably larger rounds, like a 36-inch round. And when we have some new art and the color is really vibrant, or even like we do 4x8 sheets. 4x8 sheets can be fun.
Oh, and you guys just introduced those 36-inch spinners too, like 3 feet.
Yeah, we just did some that we shipped the other day, so that's kind of fun. So I don't know. I like the bigger things just because they're like here. This is our hitch receiver cover, but I mean that's really vibrant. But when you get it on something that's a lot bigger, it's almost like you're looking out a window. So here's kind of a cutout of a hummingbird. That's what's on the press right now. And then here's the actual. So sometimes when you look at the prints, it's like, it doesn't look like much, or, it's hard to sometimes visualize a little bit, but all it takes is a little bit of color. It doesn't have to be super accurate, especially on the grind, because the shape in itself will make the part look cool. Here's kind of a fun one I think we did in the last class.
Yeah, that was in the art class that Don and I did, and that's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Gnome, sweet gnome.
So there's lots of creative things that a person can do.
Barb is asking if the state blanks are on the web page, and that's a question with multiple answers.
I believe that they are on the depending on which state shape. So it's referring to the 8-inch wind spinner. I believe Corey put it up there before he went on vacation. And then in the notes, you have to tell us what state shape that you're interested in. And I think that's fairly accurate. Is that right, Erica?
I think so too.
And then on the ornaments, it's something similar. So you could order them ornaments, but then tell us what state shape you need. Here's what Erica was talking about earlier was the accessory hook, or we used to call it a keychain, but it seemed like it sold better when we called it an ornament, accessory rack.
Yeah, because I would hang necklaces, belts. I mean, there's so many uses for it. Dog leashes.
Catalog, you can download a catalog if you haven't seen one. There's one downloadable version. We are always adding new things online, so I would refer to online.
And if there's something that you can't find, just call Corey at 218-547-5990. I'll put the phone number in the chat.
Something about revenge just came to mind, or payback.
As in, it will be happening.
Yeah, or maybe you're getting him back. I don't know. But yeah, I think too. I don't know if you have some dates for Cheryl's class that you can share in
Yeah.
the group.
Let me just double check my calendar here. It's in May is the next summit.
And then there's one in September, or if they were looking for her class, where would they go?
They would go to the Facebook page Sublimation for Beginners and Beyond, and Sublimation for Beginners and Beyond. And let me just, and sublimationsummitlive.com is where you go to register. The next time it's happening is May 24th through the 26th. And it's a great opportunity, not just to see new products that people are coming out with and get creative ideas. I mean, there's classes on art. There's classes to just help you grow your passion into a business. There's all sorts of classes that you can take, and she gets some really inspiring speakers. So you'll leave supercharged. And Arnold will be one of them.
Yeah, I will be. Barb can't find the state ornament blanks or the wind spinner blanks. So I don't know if you can post.
I was just looking for those too.
Well, you should be able to post the Minnesota.
Art.
You can post the Minnesota one, and then they would put in the notes, because I'm sure they can put it in notes.
State.
Well, I think that ends the pressing for today.
Does anybody have any other questions? And Barb, I would give Corey a call. I know we had an issue with our website and he had to repopulate a bunch of things. And I'm wondering, because I'm not seeing them either now, but I know that they were there.
Otherwise, I think, Erica, if you can send Corey Barb's email or a note. I'm sure we have Barb's email, so we can send it to her.
Okay. I will do that.
Can we see the gnome spinner again? Yes, you may. Let's see. I'm just going to put this hook back on so I don't get in trouble. This was the customer's order that I kind of swiped. Gnome, where art thou? And I think, Erica, correct me if I'm wrong, this is out there, isn't it, as a design that they can download?
We had it as a design. Let me make sure it's still up too. If you go to the website, there we have a section that's called digital downloads, and that's for Art to Press. So you go to shop, you go to digital downloads, and we have it for free. We have a couple of them here. I'm going to just share this.
And here's the larger 16-inch that we did earlier of the butterfly. Thank you, Kim. We have lots of different butterflies, lots of different dragonflies. I mean, here's one that's actually a garden stake. I don't have the stake up here with me, but garden stakes, ornaments, baggage tags, lots of different shapes and sizes. If you can't find what you're looking for, call in. If you're just getting started, we can break some of our packs to kind of get you some experience.
Okay. Barb, I'll tell him. It's Minnesota Barb Kelly.
What's that?
It's Minnesota Barb Kelly.
Oh,
because there were there two Barb Kellys? I don't know.
well, I think it's the Barb Snow Kelly that's got me confused. It's Barb. Well, thank you, everybody. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to call Erica, Corey, myself, or Don, or Teresa. One of us in the front office can help you. We have a full variety of other YouTube videos and instructional things on our YouTube channel. Thank you, Beth. Thank you for you guys' support. Thank you for your orders. Buy American made whenever you can, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in.
Bye, everybody.